our hometown heroes have to back it up and play again. This time they're playing Islamabad United, and this is a very important game for Islamabad because if they can manage to win, that sorts out our top four in the HBL PSL 7.
Yeah, it would do, because the only other side who have a slight hope, the vainest hope of getting in, are Quetta. And if Islamabad can go 2 points up to 10, that means that you've got three sides on 10 with still the remaining games to play, and Quetta just cannot get into that playoff situation. So Islamabad, of course, have all sorts of problems. They have lost players for all sorts of reasons.
The walking wounded.
There's the walking wounded. I mean, there's a hospital full of these guys somewhere. I don't know where they are. They've probably been quarantined somewhere. But there's a lot of injuries. They've had players go home. It doesn't destroy a squad, but when you lose key players, and when you lose, for instance, your top four, who have been four of the form batsmen, for instance, of the tournament in the early parts, then you can understand how that affects the overall confidence of a squad. Even if players come in who are keen to show what they can do, you just take away sort of that vibrant heart of a team. So if they can take advantage of the fact that Qalandars have now suffered a bit of a wobble, and how does this work? Qalandars will no doubt come back, albeit 24 hours after their last defeat, thinking, right, we need to pick ourselves up, and they will look back at their form early in the tournament, the fact they were second, still are second in the table. They'll look back to their early form thinking, okay, that's what we need to go back to. And if, for instance, Fakhar Zaman failed for once, if he fires again, as of course you might expect him to do, suddenly there'll be another 100 runs better off. So those are the sort of things that change the dimensions or change the dynamics of a team performance. Now, therefore, you've got both teams have very, very good reasons to get it right. I suspect Islamabad have more of a reason to get it right because it's very much a last-ditch effort. Their last game is against Multan Sultans, so they need these 2 points desperately. Yeah. They will think that they're better off against Lahore Qalandars than they are against Multan Sultans. Therefore, that gives them every incentive to try and cobble together 11 men, wrap them up in cotton wool, tape them up, put the staples in, whatever it takes to get 11 men on that field fit, and give them an injection, whatever makes them play well.
Would it be fair to say whichever batting side manages to get it together, maybe the ones that are victorious tomorrow, because Lahore, obviously, they suffered a loss because their batting lineup didn't fire, and Islamabad need to find a way to field a batting lineup at all, considering they've lost that top four?
Yeah, it is first and foremost about just trying to get those 2 points and to ensure that you're in that top four and therefore you go into the playoffs. Once you get there, and of course once we get to the end of the league section early next week, there's 1 day off before you start the playoffs, and during that 1 day you can sort of patch people together. You hope maybe, for instance, if for the sake of argument Islamabad come through and they get the points they need and they are one of the qualifiers for those playoffs, well, they will hope maybe, if there's a miracle, that one or two of their unfit players are suddenly fit enough to play and therefore fit enough to maybe make a difference. If you're Qalandars, well, it's more about just making those tweaks that get the engine firing. It's as if they've sort of lost a bit of Zeke oil there somewhere. They just need to fill it up again, put the cap back on, get that engine running smoothly, and they'll be back in contention.
Oh, I love that. Get your engine started, because it's all do or die for Islamabad United. They want to make sure they make that top four. They're up against Lahore Qalandars, and we cannot wait to see who'll be victorious.